Hello, everyone. Today we have Naftali, who I'm excited to talk to about opportunities related to data science and AI, especially scholarships. We're going to talk about two of the scholarships he got, one at Ames, one which is a Google DeepMind Scholarship, and then how he ended up moving to a full-time role as a data scientist at Ishango.ai. So stay tuned and enjoy our conversation. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to one of the episodes of Africans in Data Science and AI. Today we have Naftali. I hope I'm saying your name right. And I'm excited to talk to him about opportunities and scholarships and stuff like that. So welcome, Naftali, and thank you for making the time to be here.
Right, no, thank you for having me. Right, My name is Naftali, Indongo. I'm actually from Namibia. Which is that countries up there close to South Africa. I think most people know South Africa. So I'm actually a data scientist with a company called Ishango.ai.
Mm-hmm. And that's really great.
I'm happy to share my experience with everyone.
That's great. I actually didn't know that you were from Namibia. You're probably the first person I have from Namibia who's Namibia. So yeah, I'm happy to have you. So I wanted to talk more about opportunities, especially scholarships and maybe internships that people can apply for that are related to data science and AI. So talking about your experience, can you tell us more about your background, how you got into data science and what you studied, any scholarships you managed to get along the way?
Yeah. So I have a background in applied mathematics. So I did a BSA honors in applied mathematics, which is like a 4-year degree at the University of Namibia.
Okay.
Then after actually worked as a tutor at the University of Namibia for about a few years, maybe 2-3 years. Then I went to do a master in mathematical sciences at African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, which is called Ames in South Africa, New Zealand. So the most interesting thing is that throughout my whole educational career, actually I've been lucky enough to be one of those guys who always gotten scholarships. Basically, maybe because I've also been one of the top students throughout my classes. And I've also been, pursuing, finding ways to get, funding. When you're coming from a poor background, you sometimes you worry about, okay, now if I have to go to university, how do I get funding? Who is going to pay for my school and what that? So lucky enough, we came at a time where there's quite a lot of, scholarships. Companies are giving us scholarships, and so I've actually been, applying. I think throughout my bachelor, the first thing I did, I got a government grant. So it's called Students Financial Assistance Fund. So that helped me throughout my 4 years of undergrad. Then I got a job as a tutor, and I was in academia, and I also came up in an environment where there's quite a lot of I get exposed to a lot of opportunities. I get to network. I get to hear about that, and I think from there that's when I got to know about Ames. And there was when you get admitted to Ames, so I heard about it that once you get admitted, then that already means there's a scholarship provided for you. I was like, actually a wonderful opportunity, and I applied for that. And throughout that, I was also applying for other fundings because I wanted to go to University of Cape Town, first of all, as well as Stellenbosch University. And that's some of the best universities in SADC, right? And, so I've been applying for scholarships, and I think Ames came first. Then I was like, no, this is a wonderful opportunity. I'm going to take this one. I think while I was at Ames, I also got some other funding. I think one of them was NRF, National Research Foundation, which is I think it's in South Africa. I think at the time they were actually funding foreign students, but currently there's quite, they only fund you partially, but at the time they were giving you a full scholarship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that happened while I was at Ames, but I was already in the middle of my studies, so I couldn't take that on. So at Ames, I was actually one of the MasterCard Foundation scholars.
That's great.
So, and that was actually very interesting. So they cover your tuition, living allowance, accommodation, So all you have to do, you just have to leave your home country, and they sponsor your flight. So you just have to make sure you show up and get to the airport in Cape Town. Then they come and pick you up. They take you to Ames Center in Muizenberg. It's actually a very beautiful environment. So you're actually staying along the coast. So everything is happening under that building. Your classes, that's where you go eat. You get to meet other people from a lot of African countries. So it was very amazing. And I think from there, my network actually grew. I got to learn a lot. I got to experience different cultures. It's amazing how our cultures are so beautiful, and like we are more or less the same basically. So you get to meet people from different countries, and you'll be like, oh wow, okay, this is what other people are doing things. This is how they are doing it, and this is how we do it at home.
Yeah.
So that's also I'm actually talking a lot of stories here, so because this is actually a very exciting platform for me. So I'm very happy to share.
Oh no, that's really great. Like anything that you add on to your story, it makes it more relatable to other people. Yeah. So it's really helpful. Well, in my experience with scholarships, when I was in high school, I wanted to get a scholarship for. So in Zimbabwe we have O level and A level. I don't know if it's the same in Namibia. So when I was writing my O level exam, I wanted to get a scholarship for A level. There was this it's still there. It's a scholarship offered by it's called the Joshua Nkomo Scholarship Foundation. So I wanted to get that scholarship because they give I don't know if it's still the same, but they used to give the top 5 students in each province. So I was like, I am going to get really good results, so I get a scholarship for my A levels, but I didn't get to be one of the top 5 in the province. I had really great results. I was one of the top students, but I just didn't make it to the top 5 of the province. So I was quite disappointed. And then I didn't know about other scholarship opportunities that I could apply for because I didn't have enough information, right? So when we started our A levels, I was so surprised to find out that some of the students in my year who didn't make it to the top 5 in the province, they still managed to get scholarships from other organizations. So that's when I started thinking, I need to, next time I look for scholarships for the next level for my studies, I need to have enough information and everything. So I still continued to look for scholarships for undergrad, but I was targeting a specific country and that didn't work out. And by the time I got to looking for scholarships for master's level, I had no expectations. I was like, I'm not the top student in my year in undergrad. I don't think anyone would have expected me to get a scholarship in my class because, I wasn't one of those students where if people get stuck, they would come and ask me questions. I wasn't. So I didn't even have any expectation. It was like me and I had an upper second class degree classification. So I was like, I don't know, I'll just apply. And then I applied and I was so surprised I got the scholarship to Ames. So it's sometimes it's easier when you're a top student, right? You apply and you get scholarships. Yeah. But then in some cases, even if you're not the top student and you still have good grades, you could still apply and end up getting scholarships like that. But Ames was really, really a good experience. And one of the things that I really liked about Ames was that you could, if you take a 10-minute break from class, you could go and take a walk by the beach and then come back into class, refresh. I don't know for other people, but I really like going to the beach. It calms me. So that was one of the really, really nice experiences for me at Ames. But I also want to know, how was it for you? Because for me and other people in my year who did Ames, it was really hard. The classes were really difficult. The program was fully packed. How was it for you?
I would say it was the same for me. So I know the classes were very hard, and it was you had to learn new things fast. That was one of the things, a professor just come from a different, maybe the UK and teach you for, I think 4 weeks, or was it 2? Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks basically. And
Yeah.
so it's actually trying to give you this whole content that you have to pick up all this information as fast as possible. So it felt really hard. But one of the most amazing thing about AIMS is that it actually inspires that spirit of collaboration. Like
Yes.
we get to work as a team. That's actually one of the places where I've actually experienced that. For you to move forward, you have to work as a team. If you are not good at this, luckily there's always somebody who is good at the other topic. Then you can always collaborate on ideas and I think that even the whole environment is basically designed, to put you under pressure as well as also, force you to collaborate. And like you say, the walks at the beach were actually one of the most helpful. And I think one of the thing that we used to do is, I'm not sure if you guys used to do it during your time, where at the end of each we call it a block. You get 2 classes per block for 3 weeks. Now, at the end of that block, we always have like a mini gathering where we come together. We probably bring some food, some sweets. We play some games, and it used to be also amazing. That actually prepares for the next block.
Yes. Yes, it does.
I know the assignment hands-on, and you have to sleep late. That was one of the things. You have to sleep late. Make sure you finish this assignment on time. And they often usually due on, I think, Saturdays or Sundays sometimes. And but the whole, it was hard. But I would say it actually taught me a lot of things. It taught me how to work under pressure, how to collaborate, how to communicate. And there is a lot of presentations. I think that also helps with my presentation skills.
Yes, that's true. In my year, we used to do the same thing, like at the end of a block, but it was more like a small party. Like would have food and then would play music and start dancing. So that was more like a mini party situation.
It was the same for us, it's like a mini party. Yeah, you are not allowed to bring alcohol also, but it's still a party. It was still fun. Use cool drinks, sweets, sweet dance, play games. And I think one of the nice, interesting thing about, when we dance, people tend to play music based on where they come from.
Yes.
Like if somebody from Congo, then they play their Congolese music, then they dance, So that was also just another way of sharing different cultures.
Yes, that was really nice. Did you get to learn some of the dances from other countries?
Yeah, I actually tried to learn some of the dances.
Okay. So I wanted to add on. Oh, okay, yeah. I wanted to talk about AIMS because I think we forgot to talk about how AIMS is a program that has institutes in other countries. So besides South Africa, there's also AIMS Rwanda, there's AIMS Senegal, AIMS Cameroon, and AIMS Ghana. So if anyone who's watching is interested in AIMS and they are in other locations that they would prefer besides South Africa, then you could also look into the AIMS centers in those locations. The program is pretty much the same. There's always slight variations because countries differ a little bit, but the program is the same. And how, in terms of sponsorship, the studies, the length of the program, they're different programs, but the same program always has the same duration and the same structure. So one of the things that I also wanted to talk about is that AIMS is mostly mathematical sciences, right? So people tend to think that you need to have a strong foundation in maths for your bachelor's to do AIMS. But what was the distribution of fields from people's backgrounds in your class? Which fields were people coming from?
Yeah, there were actually quite a lot of people from, for example, engineering. We actually had people from engineering. I don't think the people from engineering, their math background is really that big. It just, I would say, it actually depends on what are you interested in, for example. But then when you choose your courses, you structure them based on your strongest suits. So, for example, if I'm coming from electrical engineering and I want to venture into data science, I'm not going to do courses like, for example, number theory or algebraic topology or something that actually pushed me
Not
into
theory.
this. Right? You know what I mean? Because I always like to say, as much as you need a strong background in mathematics, because it basically just gives you the tools to use. But at the end of the day, if you are somebody who have actually done a 4-year engineering degree, for example, and you have done a little bit of math, engineering is problem solving. I always like to say engineering is applied mathematics. So, and that is what AIMS is all about. So I would say it's not really, as long as, because they always say you must have a background in, you're coming from engineering, you're coming from computer science, statistics, applied mathematics, either one of these two. As long as you have that slight background in mathematics, and I think you should survive. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure that's good information for people to know. I had a computer science background, and of course, AIMS was quite challenging for me because I didn't have that strong of a maths background, but it was manageable. So I think if anyone is a bit scared, and because I also get people asking me on LinkedIn that, oh, they want to apply to AIMS, but they studied something different, or they actually got into AIMS and they want to know, is it really going to be manageable for them to study the courses. So moving on, I saw that you have Google DeepMind Scholar on your LinkedIn profile. Can you talk more about that?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I think after AIMS, I went back to Namibia. So I was working as a tutor. So luckily while I was at AIMS, I was still employed as a tutor, basically.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. So I was like we call it staff development. So meaning immediately after AIMS, I was expected to go back home and also take up a lecturing position. It's like a promotion, being a tutor, so which was amazing, right? And so when I went back after AIMS, I got promoted to become a lecturer. So I was working as a lecturer for like about, I think, 4 years. So I think I resigned from that in 2022. Right. Okay. So going to AIMS basically was just, I got exposed to a lot of things. And that was a time where data science was booming, data science, machine learning. And I remember my project at AIMS was on in machine learning. So we applied machine learning models for stock market predictions. Right. So long story short, throughout that project, I actually got to get a taste of what is data science all about, what is machine learning is all about. And from there, I was eager to become a data scientist. Right. So I went back home. I worked as a lecturer. After 4 years, 2022, I resigned. Now I want to actually venture straight into data science or machine learning.
Okay.
Then I went to do a program at Stellenbosch University. So there's actually a very interesting program. I think this is one of the programs that we must even talk about on this platform. So it's called a Master in Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence, which is a 1-year program. So with this program, once you're also admitted, so basically you apply for both the program as well as the funding.
Okay.
And the most amazing thing about this, it's funded by Google DeepMind. So that's why that's how I became a Google DeepMind Scholar. So it's also a highly competitive program. But I always like to say, so we spoke about as much as you need to be top of your class. I don't think that is really the case nowadays, because we have different qualities, right? Every scholarship always asks there's a minimum requirement, basically. So I think if you have met the minimum requirement, then you have other qualities. Let's say you have experience in industry, for example, or you have good leadership skills, because they always ask about these things.
Okay.
And yeah, things like where are you coming from, geography, where are you coming from. So I think that's also some of the contributing factors to you being awarded a scholarship. Are you male or female? Because we want a whole equal representative of everyone. That is also another important thing, because it doesn't just mean you have to be the top student throughout, but you must have other qualities. Often, not always the top students are for example, have good leadership skills. I think that's actually one of the things that we also people put into account.
Okay.
And I think, so for that program, I spent like a whole year last year, 2023. Then after that, that's now when I ended up working as a data scientist for Ishango.
Okay. But talking more about the Masters in Machine Intelligence at Stellenbosch, how big is the program? How many people get accepted every year?
So in our class, we're about 15. Yeah.
Okay,
15.
so only 15 people are accepted. 15 people get accepted, and then they get scholarships as well.
Actually, 10 people get scholarships. Then the other 5 are mostly on a part-time basis, and those are funding themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what courses are you taking in this program?
So you basically do all the data science and AI courses, such as like natural language processing, computer vision, probabilistic reasoning, probabilistic modeling, reinforcement learning. So they basically expose you to the whole foundation of machine learning and AI.
Okay.
I think it's actually a very interesting program for people who want to venture into data science, or they want to go into the AI or software development, for example.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good program. And I know that there are multiple Google DeepMind scholarships for masters that are related to computer science and AI and machine learning in South Africa, mainly Stellenbosch and Wits, I think.
Wits, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what are some of the benefits of this Google DeepMind Scholarship? Do you get to attend some conferences? Do you get to network with people who work at the company? What happens?
Yes. So one of the benefits is that they actually also fund you for conference. So that's one of the benefits, where you are actually given a budget to go and attend an international conference of your choice. And so you go for those conferences, then you go and network with other people. Mostly some of these conferences, you even end up meeting people from Google DeepMind themselves. And when you go there, you actually represent yourself as a DeepMind scholar. So that's one of the things. You go there, you are a DeepMind scholar. Even when they meet you, they are happy to meet you. And so another additional benefit is you get mentorship throughout the whole program. So meaning once you get admitted, once you start your studies, then they assign you to a mentor, which is somebody who is a researcher or an engineer at Google DeepMind.
Okay.
And so throughout that mentorship program, you get to also get exposed to a lot of things, a lot of opportunities, things like internships. They also offer internships. I think, although they're a bit competitive in a way, but you still have to. They still tell you, you can apply for these internships, and you as a scholar, you have a better opportunity than being an intern, than just somebody who is applying from anywhere else. And
Okay.
For me, one of the most thing was the whole mentorship program. That was very helpful, because you get to meet your mentor every month, basically, and you can talk about things like, what are you planning to do? They can give you guidance on your research, for example, how to apply for jobs, CVs, and all that.
That's really great. I think that would have helped me because when I got to a point where I started, I was finishing a research fellowship that I did, and I wanted to move into applying for a job. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to. I liked research, but I felt like I needed to learn more about working in a company. So I was considering both options, should I apply for research programs or should I apply for industry? And then I ended up getting a mentor from the Deep Learning Indaba mentorship program. So I got a mentor who works at Meta, and he's doing research there. And he kind of just helped me to structure my thoughts, right? And also to look at both opportunities and to just be which one opens up is still fine for me. And he helped me get an interview for a research program at OpenAI. And I didn't end up getting that. And then he was just motivating me to keep applying for jobs. And then I kept applying for jobs until I ended up getting a job where I'm working now. So it does really help a lot when you get a mentor, especially if you have a mentor who has some kind of connections or information about programs that you can apply for, because then it expands your options. Even if you don't end up getting those things, they teach you something or that you can reuse in future. So that's really great with the DeepMind Scholarship. That's really, really, really useful for a lot of people. So you want to add on?
Yes, while we're on the topic of Google DeepMind Scholars, and there is also a program at AIMS. It's called I think African Masters in Future Studies.
Which one? At AIMS Senegal? Is that the one?
Yeah, it's in AIMS South Africa, basically. There's one at AIMS Senegal, so we'll get to that later. But the one I'm referring to is in at AIMS South Africa. So it's actually a whole AI machine learning program. And it's fully funded by Google DeepMind. So meaning the same opportunities that you get is the same opportunity that I actually have gotten. The mentorship, and all that, conference and all that. And so even the people who are running it, some of the lecturers are also coming from Stellenbosch, people who are also teaching the masters in machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And this is actually a lot of opportunity because it offers 40 scholarships. Like this year, the first intake was 40 scholarships.
That's African. A lot. That's a big number.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Imagine how good of an opportunity is that. And the whole admission is also just similar to when you're applying for any AIMS master. So they still look at, you have a background in engineering, applied mathematics, computer science, physics, and you are interested in doing a master in AI and also starting a career in AI. So that is one of another program that I think I would encourage anyone to look into. So it's a very interesting program. So in addition to that, we also have the African Masters in Machine Intelligence, which is, I think it's currently now it's in AIMS Senegal, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
The first intake started off in Rwanda. And that also, I think it's funded by quite a lot of companies, including Meta AI. And it's also accept quite a lot of African students.
There's a multiple opportunities that could be really
interesting opportunities for us Africans.
Yes, they really are. So with the program at AIMS South Africa, the one funded by Google DeepMind, so do they offer the same things like the accommodation, the tuition, stipend as well?
Yes, offer everything. Yeah, and I would say compared to the one I did from Stellenbosch University, that one is actually interesting because accommodation is already offered. Like you don't have. Like when I went to Stellenbosch, I had to go through the whole experience of finding accommodation, which was actually quite a little bit tricky. And if you haven't gotten accommodation in residence, I think getting accommodation outside is quite challenging. Tricky. Because they sometimes they even require you to. I think these are some of the things that we need to address. They often require you to provide some proof of, income, for example. They want you to show a payslip. Or your parents has to show a payslip. Now, imagine if you are coming from a background where your parents are not working.
That's difficult.
Now, how are you going to get accommodation outside residence?
So they weren't even accepting scholarship funding?
Yeah, sometimes they don't accept that. But there are some residents that are a bit flexible. They know you are a student and you can provide the proof of, scholarship. Some are also like that. But they are quite where they actually expect you to show that you can be able to pay, not just a scholarship.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it difficult, really.
Yes.
Okay. So I think those are really great programs and opportunities for people who are interested. But one of the questions that people keep asking is, we're seeing a lot of progress with large language models and the AI field in general. So, do you think that people still need to be taking master's degrees or similar programs to learn these skills?
Yeah, definitely. I think people actually have to do that. And let me just say this. Like currently, there's quite a lot of online courses on data science, for example, where people actually often think that you don't even need to have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree in the field. All you have to do is just have to pick up a short online course, then you are good to go. Yeah, as much as that helps, but at the end of the day, I always like to admire people who have the background. You must know how things are working from the back end, because these online courses are actually very helpful. They're actually helpful if you are just somebody who you don't really need to be an expert in the field. You just need to apply these skills, because with data science, everything is open source. Most of the stuffs are open source. If I want a model, I don't have to train a model from scratch. All I do is I just need to know how it works. Then I can just host it from maybe Hugging Face and do all that. And for sure, online courses gives you that that skills on how to do those basic things, how to do simple things like data pre-processing. But they don't really give you a whole idea of how do how does a model work from the back end? How do I come up with a large language models, for example? It gives you a basic, fundamental of, say I can be able to use ChatGPT for my research. In terms of all I need to do, I just need to link the API keys. I don't need to know how ChatGPT works.
Yes, that's
but
true.
As much as we also have these people, and we also have people who want to be experts. If you want to be an expert in this field, then obviously you need to know how everything works under the hood. But if you just want to use these tools, that is also fine, because at the end of the day, if we all just only interested in using the tools, but we are not interested in how the tools work. Now, after ChatGPT, who is going to come up with the next best model? Right? So it's always a trade-off.
Okay. So do you want to use the tools, or do you want to know how it works, or maybe eventually go into research? If you want to go the research path, you probably need to take the studies. And if you just want to know how to use the tools and get the job done, you could also consider the certificates, right? And get work experience. Okay. That's good. That's a balanced answer. I also want to talk about Ishango.ai. I know that they seem to be, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I know the name from somewhere. Are they linked to AIMS, or it's just an open program that people can apply?
No, it's basically it's an AI company, so it's an AI consultants company. But what they do is they are interested in developing African talents.
Okay.
They get projects from companies throughout there, leveraging data science and machine learning to solve common problems, things like that.
Okay.
Climate change, agriculture, and whatnot. So, but the whole idea is they actually want to make use of African talents to solve these problems, right? So, meaning their main focus is they are data scientists. They are looking at they are recruiting African data scientists.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how does the recruitment go? Is it a yearly thing? Is it every few months? And what are the requirements for people to apply? Are there any location requirements? You say you have to be in a specific country, for example.
So you have to be I'm staying in Namibia.
Yes, so I was asking about the requirements for the Ishango.ai. Is it location, or I don't know, any other requirements for people to apply?
Okay, so the whole program is remotely. So we're all remote data scientists. So I'm from Namibia. There's quite a lot of people from Ghana, from Cameroon, somewhere in Europe. It's remote basically. But the whole getting into the program, I think that's actually one of the most important thing, right? So you need to have I think you need to have a background in data science, or you need to have a background in applied math or even engineering, basically. So all it means is just somebody who is interested in becoming a data scientist, but they must have the whole background on how to become a data scientist. So if I have, let's say I have a master's in engineering, for example, but I've experience working as with data science, or working as a software developer, for example.
Okay.
So like if you think about it, currently being a data scientist is not really something that is very difficult to become. Like if you have, because even in programs currently, people are actually being taught data science, whether you are doing engineering, sometimes probably even in law, for example. So yeah, so there's actually quite some requirement that says, okay, now we are looking for people who have this background. So either somebody who is at least an honors degree, or you can have a bachelor's degree, but you also have an experience in the industry.
Okay.
But there is always an open application on you can check out their website. So there's you can check out on Ishango.ai. That's the website.
Okay.
So there by Ishango.ai, then there's a link, I think for future talents. There's something called for future talents.
Okay.
That's where they talk about their data science program.
Okay. This has been really great. Like we talked about opportunity that aims, the different scholarships that they offer, different centers. We talked about the Google DeepMind opportunities, master's programs, and then we also talked about this Ishango.ai. Is it an internship or a full-time data scientist position?
It's a full-time data scientist position. But so the way it starts is, okay, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about this. That can be company wise. Disclose all the information. But all I would say is check out their website and look for there's it's basically it's basically a job, full-time job.
Okay.
But the whole, so first it's a whole issue of getting into the program.
Okay.
Getting into the program, yes. And
okay.
A lot of people actually are looking for these kind of opportunities, and so it's tight getting in, but it's the most beautiful thing is it's for us Africans, and we can use this to learn experience. And there's quite a lot of, even when you check on their website, there's people who have gone through the program. They even tell you, no, I did this. Just go and check it out. It's amazing. Testimonies coming from other data scientists who have gone through the program, or who have gone through these job opportunities. Then they will end up telling you, no, this is what I've done after Ishango. I've gained my experience. I did this, and I'm currently doing my PhD, or I'm currently working as the what consultancy for this company. So
That's good to know. That's good to know. I hope that at least one person watching this would be motivated to apply for one of the opportunities, and they actually get into the program, so that it helps them in their journey into the career that they're planning for. So we are running out of time. So I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your experiences and the information surrounding these opportunities. I'm really grateful. So thank you for your time.
Right, no problem. I'm happy to share, and I hope somebody else will go through the same process I've gone through. They get all these amazing opportunities and be able to share with other people as well.
Okay.